Hey, Shalom. I see you made it in. Praise Yahweh.
Praise Yahweh.
You coming through loud and clear.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, told us, sir. I'm gonna go back on mute and finish setup. Hey, Shalom.
Yes, ma'am.
I see you made it in. Praise Yahweh.
Recorded, man?
All right, praise Yahweh. Mike check, Sister Yochebed. I see you made it in.
Yes, ma'am. Test, test. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, ma'am. You're coming through loud and clear. Praise Yahweh.
Praise Yahweh.
All right, we're gonna go back on mute and let everyone else in. Praise Yahweh.
Yes,
Well, praise Yahweh, family. It is Yahweh's Feast of Weeks for the solar year 6024. My name is Sister Tamar Yisrael, and I'm excited to let you know we have an amazing lineup for this Feast of Weeks celebration for the solar year 6024. Before we get started, I want to let you know about our nightly lineup. Tonight, we'll open with prayer to our Heavenly Father, Yahweh. Then we'll go into a welcome by Sister Yochebed and a presentation by the University of Yahweh. And then we'll have an introduction of tonight's teaching priest, a brother that you don't want to miss. And he is one that has been teaching and sharing in Yahweh's wisdom for quite some time. So we want to hear this wisdom from Yahweh. But before we get started, we want to invite you to face the east with outstretched hands as we offer up a prayer to our Heavenly Father, Yahweh.
O Yahweh, God of our salvation, save us, gather us together, and deliver us from this heathen, so that we may give thanks to thy holy name and glory in thy praises. Blessed be the holy name of Yahweh and Yisrael forever. O Yahweh, let them be confounded that persecute us, but let not us be confounded. Let our enemies be dismayed, but let not us be dismayed. Bring upon our enemies the day of evil and destroy them with double destruction. O Yahweh, forgive our fathers for breaking your laws, and please forgive us for breaking your laws. Help us to never bring shame upon thy great name, nor reproach against thy works. For surely we have turned ourselves to thee, O Yahweh, trying to be upright. And as we confess our faults, please grant us protection against all of our faults. Cleanse us of our secret faults and guide us to the best of morals. For surely our prayers and our sacrifices, our lives and our deaths are all for thee, O Yahweh. Tefillah. Avenu Shabbat Shemayim, Yikadeh Shemeaka, Tavo Makuterka, Yad Zerizonka, King Vashemayim came by Aretz, and Lekem Kukenu, Tain Lanu Hayam, Uslat Lanu, All Kartienu, Kimo Sosol King, Gamanatnu, Lakotim Lanu, Veal Tevienu, Lade Nisayam, King Kal Senu, Mihara, Kilaka, Hamamlaha, Veha Gibera, Veha Tefieret, Leolame, Olamin Sila. We thank thee, O Yahweh, O living and eternal King, who has so mercifully restored our souls within us. So let everything that has breath praise Yahweh.
And now, family, a welcome by our sister Yochebed Sarah.
All praises be to our great, good, glorious, terrible, and perfect God Yahweh, and to his most magnificent, honorable, and praiseworthy Son, Yahweh ben Yahweh. Blessed is he that cometh in the name Yahweh. Praise Yahweh. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the Feast of Weeks 6021. This is the time of ingathering and gathering the first fruits. Exodus 26:13 states, and the feast of harvest, the first fruits of thy labors, which thou hast sown in the field, and the feast of ingathering, which is in the end of the year, when thou hast gathered in thy labors out of the field. As we work and labor throughout the year, we are to focus on being able to present our first fruits to the Most High Yahweh in celebration of our Feast of Weeks. In the book called The Ingathering by Yahweh ben Yahweh, it states, certain portions of man's crops, livestock, and first fruits should be rendered to Yahweh as concrete retribution for the help that Yahweh gives to you, as written in Deuteronomy chapter 16, verses 15 through 17, which reads, 7 days shalt thou keep a solemn feast unto the Lord thy God Yahweh, in the place which the Lord Yahweh shall choose, because the Lord thy God Yahweh shall bless thee in all thine increase and in all the works of thine hands. Therefore thou shalt surely rejoice 3 times in a year shall all thy males appear before the Lord thy God Yahweh, in the place which he shall choose, in the feast of unleavened bread, and in the feast of weeks, and in the feast of tabernacles. And they shall not appear before the Lord Yahweh empty. Every man shall give as he is able, according to the blessings of the Lord thy God Yahweh, which he hath given thee. These directions are clear. When you come into the knowledge of Yahweh, and that Yahweh is your God, then you will obey the will of your God Yahweh. And in obeying the will of your God Yahweh, you will follow these prescriptions and surely rejoice. As you keep the laws of Yahweh, you are blessed above all people on the earth, because that is Yahweh's decree. The blessings of Yahweh are designed to make you rich. Proverbs chapter 10, verses 22. The blessings of the Lord Yahweh, it maketh rich, and he addeth no sorrow with it. As we know, we are the first fruits of the true and living God Yahweh, and we are to present ourselves as the first fruits of our labor to show our gratitude for life, period, as we did not create ourselves. Psalms 100 verse 3 reveals, know ye that the Lord Yahweh, he is God. It is he that hath made us, and not we ourselves. We are his people and the sheep of his pasture. Praise Yahweh, praise Yahweh ben Yahweh, and again, welcome.
And now, a presentation from the University of Yahweh by Brother Yirmiyahu.
Shalom, family. Tonight, I'll be sharing a bit on my name. My name is Yirmiyahu Israel, and I'm proud to present to you my presentation. All praises be to our most illustrious, great, good, omnipotent God Yahweh, and to his most divine, adroit, merciful, magnificent, splendid, and most noble Son, Yahweh ben Yahweh. Praise Yahweh. Shalom. It is my great pleasure to address you during this high holy feast, the Feast of Weeks. My name is Yirmiyahu Yisrael, and tonight I will share the wisdom in my name. One of the definitions for my name, Yirmiyahu, is defend. The word defend in the original Strong's Exhaustive Concordance is numeral 15,098, and it reads Ganan, meaning to surround, cover, defend, and protect. So in taking on these attributes and characteristics, I learned there is power in these words. To surround is to enclosure or confine on all sides, so as to bar from escape or outside communication. To cover is to extend over, to travel or pass over. Defend is to make or keep safe from danger, attack, or harm. To engage in or be prepared to engage in battle, to prevent from being captured or occupied by an enemy. In law, defend is to disprove or invalidate another argument. Now, the word protect is to keep from being subjugated to difficulty or unpleasantness. Now, let me make this clear. We are not going on a physical battle or journey. We are going on an intellectual odyssey, which is an intellectual or spiritual quest. With the knowledge in my name, I will know how to prevent an enemy invader of any kind. By using surround, any outside or immoral communication will be eradicated from our gates. Because the word of Yahweh, and the name Yahweh ben Yahweh is a strong tower, as stated in Proverbs 18:10, which reads, "The name of the Lord Yahweh is a strong tower. The righteous runneth into it and is safe." So if you run into the name Yahweh, it will surround you. With the cover, Yirmiyahu will know how to extend and cause the word of Yahweh to reach far and wide to cover the inhabitants of earth. Habakkuk 2:14 reveals, "For the earth shall be filled with the knowledge of the glory of the Lord Yahweh, as the water covers the sea." As Yirmiyahu takes on the knowledge of the word defend, the righteous in Yahweh will be safe from physical, mental, or spiritual danger, attack, or harm. All the righteous in the tower of the name Yahweh have the armor of protection to prevent from being captured or occupied, therefore preventing being subject to any difficulty or unpleasantness. How is all this done with knowledge? All knowledge is given to us by Yahweh ben Yahweh. See, this Feast of Weeks, we are the wheat that have grown to wear the crown of glory. Our minds are becoming right with wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. Yahweh ben Yahweh's work is now giving birth to a man-child that has awakened from his sleep. We are ready to stand up against our open enemy because this child, Yirmiyahu, is from the tribe of Judah, chosen to be the ruler, as 1 Chronicles 28:4 has prophesied. And it reads, "Howbeit, the Lord God Yahweh of Israel chose me before all the house of my father to be king over Israel forever. For he hath chosen Judah to be the ruler, and of the house of Judah, the house of my father, and among the sons of my father, he liked me to make me king over all Israel. But this kingship must mature in the knowledge of humility, mercy, charity, morality, equity, uprightness, honesty, honor, and excellence. I thank my Father Yahweh for choosing me this day to be awake, to be a righteous leader for the nation of Yahweh. And may my service be forever upright in the sight of the true and living God Yahweh. Praise Yahweh ben Yahweh."
Praise Yahweh. What an exceptional presentation of Yirmiyahu. Praise Yahweh. As we continue this feast family, or we get started with this feast family, it gives me great honor to share space with our brother Yirmiyahu and our sister Yochebed Sarah, and also share space with the brother that I am about to welcome onto this platform as your special guest speaker for this evening. Yahweh has given me the honor, the just the ability to be in the graces of an honorable man, an upright man, and a just man. Yahweh has given me a brother as his wife to be, he is just amazing, family. I cannot tell you the magnitude of the glory of our Father that this brother manifests. It's not just a talk, it's not just a walk, it is who he is. It is the embodiment of who he is. And this brother has changed my life. And I'm so thankful to Yahweh that he's introduced me to my father, Yahweh. He has founded the Historical Foundation. He's been a community advocate for a number of years and waking up our brothers and sisters walking in darkness. I'm a true testimony to his efforts and his diligence in seeking out his counterpart. I am a true testimony to that, and it gives me a great deal of honor to be in the presence of Yahweh's son, Brother Lou Yisrael. Not only did he found the Historical Foundation, but he is the founder of the Neo Jazz School of Music and Yisrael Records, where the music you've been listening to tonight is a product of that. And this brother continues to put forth his hands, his energy, his body, his life, his efforts towards building the kingdom of heaven I witness this every day, family, and his teaching and sharing and giving of Yahweh's divine mind is just unboundless. Well, without further ado, family, I want to bring to the platform Brother Lou Yisrael, a king, a father, and a son. He is all that Yahweh ben Yahweh has called him to do. Praise Yahweh.
Well, praise Yahweh. I thank Yahweh for Sister Tamar and her introduction. It's like we need to go home now. How can I top that? But I'm here on a mission. And of course, family, I'd like you to go along on this mission. But I do want a few rules of housekeeping. Number one, I want you to sit down in a comfortable chair and fasten your seatbelts. And number two, I'd like you to dust off your thinking cap and put it on and tie it real tight because this ride might be bumpy. But nevertheless, we're going deep tonight. Now, the subject of tonight is the law of the Feast of Weeks. And so when I began to embark upon my studies of the Feast of Week, I've studied a number of words before, feast being one of them, but I don't think I've had the pleasure of studying weeks. And as it relates to the law of the Feast of Weeks, never have studied weeks from that perspective. So tonight, I invite you to let's go a little deeper. The most honorable Yahweh ben Yahweh taught us about the law pertaining to the Feast of Weeks, but he said in his teaching that he's only touched on it, just a little hint of the knowledge found in that Feast of Week. So I like to go just a little deeper. Of course, we don't have time to go as deep as it goes because that would take some time, of course. So we're going to go deeper, a little deeper into the law of the Feast of Weeks. First of all, the law of the Feast of Weeks is all about the mathematical composition of the number 7. The most honorable Yahweh ben Yahweh, he taught knowledge pertaining to the Feast of Weeks. And he also challenged us to go further. So let's start with the word weeks. Weeks in Hebrew is pronounced Sheba, spelled Shin Beit Ayin Hey. And it is defined as a prime cardinal number, 7, as the sacred full one. Also, 7 times, by implication, a week. By extension, an indefinite number. 7-fold, 7 times. Weeks translated into Hebrew is Sheba, which is actually the number 7. So Feast of Weeks is also the Feast of 7. The number 7 actually has a definition. The number 7, or Sheba in Hebrew, is defined as to be complete, to be perfect, to 7 oneself, i.e., swear as if by repeating a declaration 7 times, to adjure, which means urge or request someone solemnly or earnestly to do something. charged by an oath with an oath. This we can see that 7 Sheba is scientifically composed to be perfect in nature, as well as to denote a perfect cycle of days, weeks, months, and years. Do you ever wonder why there are only 7 days in a week? Could it be that Yahweh created the world in 7 days? And which in reality, our reality is 7,000 years. But have you wondered why there's 7 days in a week? And that the 7 Sheba day cycle is perfect. And as creation goes, we've been told the number 7 represents perfection. The Feast of Weeks is actually 7 weeks after Passover. 7 times 7, which equals 49. 49 is 2 numbers that together establishes the perfection of 7. 4 represents setting up the foundation, and 9 represent the completion. From this, we can clearly deduce that the word Sheba, 7, depicts Yahweh's perfection. The law of the Feast of Weeks gives you power. So let's dive into power just for a few seconds, actually. Power is defined as the ability to do or act, the capability of doing or accomplishing something. So as it relates to power, the Feast of Weeks teaches us, the law pertaining to the Feast of Weeks gives us power. The law of the Feast of Weeks is infinite study, which will lead to infinite power. But power by itself is no good. Only if you apply this power, then it will lead to infinite wealth. Not only will the application of this knowledge lead you to infinite wealth, but also will enable you to take your rightful place as the ruler of the world. In other words, it will lead you to infinite rulership, infinite honor, infinite peace, and a few other words that our Father taught us as it relates to this infinite wisdom in the law found in the Feast of Weeks. Now, the foolish among us will not put any oil in their lamps. They will say, praise Yahweh, but they won't study. They won't fill their minds with this knowledge that when applied is infinite wealth. Lamp is representative of your mind, of course, and the oil is the knowledge which gives you light that you need to see your way out of poverty. First, the most honorable Yahweh ben Yahweh teaches us that he had to teach us that we reside in poverty because we didn't really realize that our conditions were considered poverty. You know, it's funny how some people on social programs, you know, welfare and different things, don't realize they're in poverty. So the most honorable Yahweh, the first thing he had to do is teach us. He literally had to teach us that we were living in poverty. Then he had to shine a light that will help us come out of that poverty. But it's all about the application of this wisdom. The law of the Feast of Weeks requires us to be rich. It actually requires us to be rich. The law teaches us if we plant our seed around Passover, 7 weeks later, we should have our first harvest, the harvest of the first fruits. Then we must come together in the place where Yahweh chooses to place his name and give our God Yahweh a free will offering of our hand. According to Deuteronomy chapter 16, verse 10, you must do this to get the blessings of the law of the Feast of Weeks. So let's go to that scripture for a second and I'll read it. Deuteronomy chapter 16, verse 10, and thou shalt keep the feast of weeks unto Yahweh, thy God, with a tribute of a free will offering of thy hand, which thou shalt give unto Yahweh, thy God, according as the Lord Yahweh, thy God, has blessed thee. So here we see that Yahweh ben Yahweh teaches us that he had to teach us we resided in poverty, and then he had to give us the wisdom to see our way out of poverty. And so we must come to the understanding that we must use our hands to sow some seeds of Yahweh. Now, how do you sow seeds of Yahweh? Easy. You create, you sow seeds. All seeds are of Yahweh, unless they're just perpetuating the wickedness of the opposer of Yahweh. But we'll talk about that a little later. Right now, seeds of Yahweh is attending feasts, gaining wisdom, getting oil for your lamp, becoming wise so that we can see our way, we can collectively see our way out of poverty. The Feast of Weeks is celebrated in the third month of the year, exactly 7 weeks after Passover. It is mathematically correct and accurate forever. It is a perfect prescription. As we considered earlier, the knowledge found in the study of the number 7, now we can understand some of the mysteries of perfection. We can really go deep into the number 7 as it relates to the law of the Feast of Weeks, as it relates to creation. It is that perfection that Yahweh ben Yahweh taught us that Yahweh requires of us. The law of the Feast of Weeks teaches us that we must sanctify ourselves, Leviticus 11 and 44, and become holy. Let's go to Leviticus 11, 44, and I'll read. For I am Yahweh, your God. Ye shall therefore sanctify yourselves, and ye shall be holy, for I am holy. Neither shall ye defile yourself with any manner of creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth. Well, I don't know about you, but that sounds like a warning to me that the law of the Feast of Weeks, in order to get the blessings from the law of the Feast of Weeks, there's something that we must actively do. We must sanctify ourselves, according to the scripture, and become holy. So, what is holy? See, this is the part when you must work on yourself. Everybody has to work on themselves in order to make yourself holy, i.e., to sanctify yourself. You have to know what the word holy means to begin the process of becoming holy. Now, holy is to set yourself apart for the exclusive use of Yahweh. Now, that sounds like a whole book, and it is. If we get into that, that's a whole book. But let's get into it just a little bit. To set yourself apart means that you're not part of the American dream. You're not part of the protest and the parties and the things of this world. That's not what excites you. What excites you is studying the word of Yahweh and becoming his will in action on this planet this day. You know, the world teaches that all God and the Old Testament and all of that stuff is old and outdated. We in the new era, the information age. We can be a tree if we want to. We can do whatever we want to. We can live forever in a computer if we like. But we all know where all of that comes from. But to sanctify yourself, to become holy, you must set yourself apart from all of that and be only for the exclusive use of Yahweh. It is truly a process to become holy. It is a process in which you must undergo this. You must undergo to sanctify yourself so that you will be able to be used and of use to Yahweh. Brothers and sisters, we cannot do this ourselves. But now that the most honorable Yahweh ben Yahweh has come to us and shined his marvelous light and given us the tools to be able to accomplish this mission of sanctifying ourselves and becoming holy, the first battle of this process takes place in our minds. We have to rid our minds of all the wicked thoughts that distract from the laws of Yahweh. All those creeping thoughts, those things that creep in our mind, and before you know it, it's not that bad. It's, it's okay. It's for the children, or it's for a good cause. When those thoughts creep into your mind, it distracts you from the law of Yahweh. And when you become distracted from the law of Yahweh, you begin to listen to some of this media and social media that rationalize wickedness. And these rationalizations cause us to indulge in these things without considering the law of Yahweh, that it's against the law of Yahweh. So that's why Yahweh teaches us, Yahweh ben Yahweh teaches us that these creeping things are creeping thoughts creeping around in your mind. So moving forward, do you know that it is against the law of Yahweh for you to be poor? Did you know it is against the law of Yahweh for you to be in poverty? Well, let's consider. Yahweh requires you to keep the law of the Feast of Weeks, which requires you to be rich and to be blessed. So it is against the law of Yahweh for you not to be blessed and for you not to be rich. Yes, it is plain and simple. It is against the law of Yahweh to be poor and to be in poverty. Truly it is. And truly it is an insult to claim Yahweh as your God and be in poverty. You must not be keeping the law of the Feast of Weeks, which requires you to be rich. All you have to do to turn this situation around is begin to sow some seeds of Yahweh. And in 7 weeks' time, Yahweh will bless the works of your hands. Don't you know that you have nothing without Yahweh. There is nothing that you own or have or possess without Yahweh. All of your possessions are in Yahweh's hands. Satan gets you to support his wealth and his children's wealth and his companies your whole life without ever supporting your own, because you don't have them. You don't have company. You don't have wealth. These are the things that the law of the Feast of Weeks teaches us, how to have these things. But because we were stripped from that knowledge, it took Yahweh to send his only begotten son, the most honorable, Yahweh ben Yahweh, to us to teach us and to give us this light so we could see our way out of poverty by keeping the law of the Feast of Weeks. Now, it is a way of life for you to pay Satan his bills. It has become a way of life. You don't even think about it. It's like, I got to get the hustle on to pay Satan so that he can stay wealthy, stay rich, billionaires, his children's children rich, off of the backs of you and your support, your undying, unwavering support in paying his bills. The law of the Feast of Weeks teaches us to build our own businesses, our own corporations or cooperations, our own schools and institutions, so that we can reap the harvest of our own work, of our own labor, the fruits of our hands, sowing our seeds, not someone else reaping the benefits of our labor. So as we consider the law of the Feast of Weeks, we must consider the fact that we have to be like our Father, creative. We have to create institutions. We have to create corporations. We have to create businesses. We have to tie those businesses together, interconnect them, weave them all together to have that coverage that we can do without paying Satan. Don't you know Satan cannot hold you against your will? That's right. Satan cannot hold you in poverty against your will. Well, you might say, it's not my will to be in this impoverished condition. Well, the law of the Feast of Weeks teaches you how to change those conditions in as little as 7 weeks. But because we like to be like the one who puts us in poverty, instead of being like our Father Yahweh, well, we remain in poverty. We would like to be like those people as opposed to being like our Father. The Feast of Weeks teaches us to focus our minds on the creativity of our God Yahweh and the creativity that he imbued us with. That's how we move from poverty to riches. Our own creativity. It comes from Yahweh. It's in all of us. It's innate. It's there at birth. But we begin to pay Satan and support Satan, and we forget all about that. We lose focus. How many of us, as a young person, a teenager, wanted to be something great and grand that we had the ability to be, but because the world told you to go be a doctor, lawyer, accountant, or something else, you let that dream of being a dancer go, or you let that dream of being a musician go, and you got a little skill to go get a job, and you've been paying Satan ever since. But that's not what this is about. This is about the law of the Feast of Weeks, because as we turn to the law of our God Yahweh, Yahweh is the only one who has the power to take you from nothing to something. Yahweh is the only one who has the power to take you from 0 to 1. Yahweh is the one. After you move from 0 to 1, Yahweh has given you the power now to be able to go to infinity. Once you move from 0 to the 1, praise Yahweh. Now the blessings of Yahweh make you rich. Proverbs 10, chapter 22. And it reads, the blessings of the Lord Yahweh, it maketh rich, and he addeth no sorrow with it. So when you consider that, you have to ask yourself, and have you ever wondered why the rich and the wealthy, the billionaires, are all unsatisfied? They're never happy. They never have any peace or any harmony in their lives. They're always going through divorces, and they wield the power of millions of dollars, yet they're still unhappy and can't find peace. They can't find happiness. They can't buy happiness. Of course, we know money can't buy you love, at least real love, that is, but it can certainly buy you a whole bunch of lust. This day, all day long, you can buy some lust. That's not the question. The question is, have you ever wondered why these billionaires can't find happiness? They get divorces, they kill one another, they steal from each other, they generational, all of these things. And the answer is that that's not a blessing from Yahweh. Their wealth, their money, all their ill-gotten gains is not a blessing from Yahweh. We just read that the blessings of the Lord Yahweh maketh rich, and he adds no sorrow with it. So if you have money and sorrow, that did not come from Yahweh. Yes, brothers and sisters, I know you're thinking about it. Satan gives blessings. Satan definitely gives blessings too. But what he requires in return is not so pretty. That's not our subject matter. Moving on, the law of the Feast of Weeks is like any other law. It must be practiced. And according to the scriptures, Psalms chapter 19, verse 7, the law of Yahweh make you rich. We can read that. Psalms chapter 19, verse 7, and it reads, the law of the Lord Yahweh is perfect, converting the soul. The testimony of the Lord Yahweh is sure, making wise the simple. So Proverbs tells us that Yahweh make the blessings make us rich. And then Psalms say the practice of the law makes us perfect. So as it relate to perfection and the law of the Feast of Weeks, which is dealing with 7, which is perfection, we can begin the process of understanding why the law requires us to be rich. Because we have to give a free will offering of our hand. So now, until you come to that condition of being rich, you hadn't learned enough about the law and how to practice it. You've got to practice the law, and you know what they say about practice. Well, we know what the scripture says about the practice. Practice makes perfect. Practicing the law of Yahweh makes you perfect. So you can't walk around claiming Yahweh and be imperfect. Yahweh don't allow you to be imperfect. He requires you to be perfect. Now that you know that, all it takes to be perfect is practicing the perfect laws of Yahweh. Today, this day, we are a witness that all people without Yahweh, without the knowledge of Yahweh and his law, is walking in darkness. And we are a witness that all people without Yahweh that are walking in darkness are suffering all over the world. It is because Satan has you bound in chains that you cannot see. It would be much easier to remove the chains of Satan if you were able to see him, if you were aware that you had those chains on you. But see, Satan hides in institutions like public schools and governmental organizations, government programs like welfare and Medicaid, various programs like that. Satan like to hide in those programs. They seem to be doing good and helping, but they're just keeping you at the bottom of civilization. There are many more examples that I can talk about, but I think you get the point. But now the children of Yahweh are not bound by Satan because we trust in Yahweh and we have no confidence in man and his science and his interpretation and his medical industry, the sick care industry. We trust that the laws of Yahweh tells us how to eat right, how to live right, how to treat each other so that we can be healthy. You know, if you're mean, you can't be healthy. That's right. You can eat all the healthy foods, but if you're mean, you won't be healthy. If you kill, you won't be healthy. Now, don't think one-dimensional when we talk kill. Yahweh ben Yahweh has taught us that you can kill people with 2 or 3 words. You can really do a lot of damage and even kill people with words. And we're not talking about physical death. Remember, we have to go deeper into the understanding of this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. You don't need a gun to sanctify yourself and become holy. You don't need a gun to prevail against Satan and kick Satan out of your mind. That's the only place you have a fight with Satan, in your mind. As for the Satan in the flesh, in reality, well, Yahweh say he got that covered. So we got to worry about kicking him out of our mind so that Yahweh can come in our minds and live there and institute his law in our mind. There's so many more scriptures. We are running close to the time frame, but just a few more before we end. Psalms 19:7 says, the law of the Lord Yahweh is perfect, converting the soul. The testimony of the Lord is sure, making wise the simple. So now you go back to Joshua chapter 1, verse 8, and it says, this book of the law shall not depart out of thy mouth, but thou shalt meditate therein day and night, that thou may observe to do according to all that is written therein. For then thou shalt make thy way prosperous, and then thou shalt have good success. So it's all about the law. You don't need a gun for success. You don't need the best job for success. What you need is to study the law day and night. The law pertaining to the Feast of Weeks is all about how we have to see our way out of poverty and move ourselves from poverty to riches. Most of us are aware that the most honorable Yahweh ben Yahweh has a TV show called How to Move from Poverty to Riches. Well, truly this day, today, we are witnessing the resurrection of Abel. That's right. Yahweh made us able by giving us the law of the Feast of Weeks. Now, what do you mean today is the resurrection of Abel? Well, in no uncertain terms, as particular as possible, Yahweh ben Yahweh raised Abel from the dead. And he said, we are able. Able is defined as having necessary power, skill, resources, or qualifications to be qualified. Also, able is defined as having unusual or superior intelligence, skills, etc. Also, able is showing talent, skills, or knowledge. It is also legally empowered, qualified, and authorized. Whew. Wow. The resurrection of Abel. Are you able? Are you able as defined in this definition? Satan is unable. That's why he had to trick you. He had to hide. He had to wrap it up in a package. He makes you think there's problems, and then he come offer a solution that's not a solution to the problem, but he makes you believe that it's a solution to the problem. Well, the truth of the matter is that Yahweh is here, and he is able to resurrect the Abel in you. Now is the resurrection of Abel in you. Yahweh said that before he could come into your mind, he had to reveal Satan, the son of perdition, had to be revealed first. And he also said he has prepared to, it has taken him 6,000 years to prepare us for his coming. He said the wise men and the prophets back in the day, which wanted to see this day, could not see this day because they couldn't bear it. They wasn't ready for it. Their genes and chromosomes wasn't prepared for the coming of the most honorable, Yahweh ben Yahweh, in the flesh as the Son. But we're prepared. He prepared us. And we are here this day, being resurrected. Our abilities that were dormant are now springing forth. As we consider the knowledge of the Feast of Weeks, we are yet tuning in to Yahweh's frequency. And Yahweh ben Yahweh taught us that Yahweh frequency is, the call letters is TRUTH, truth. When you're able to see the truth, you are above, beyond, and apart from this world. This world is not about the truth at all. Everything you hear is in some way, some shape, some form, dealing with falsities, falsehoods, lies, outright lies. And we know what the scripture says, that Satan deceived the whole world. And he say, all liars shall have their place with Satan in the lake of fire. So as family, as we consider, and as I close out, the knowledge of the Feast of Weeks, understand that weeks is 7. 7 is perfection. It's not happenstance that the Feast of Weeks occurs exactly 7 weeks after Passover. When we tune into the frequency of Yahweh, which is the truth, all the families of the earth will be blessed of you who are on the frequency of the truth. That means we have to teach all nations the truth. That also means we can't be believing the lies that's going around these days about solutions to problems that was created. Oh, everybody got to take this solution to the problem we created. Praise Yahweh. That concludes some of the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding that I studied pertaining to this subject. As I said at the beginning, it goes much, much, much deeper. Maybe in the future, we'll have more of our family to weigh in on their studies on the knowledge pertaining to the Feast of Weeks. But it does give me great pleasure tonight as I wrap up my offering, my dissertation. It gives me great pleasure to present to you the Grand Master of the Celestial Lodge, the architect of the universe, the blessed and only potentate, the founder of the nation of Yahweh, my personal mentor and my personal teacher, the most honorable, Yahweh ben Yahweh.
Remember that this is the morning of the third day, and I shall rise again. I am the resurrection. All of prophecy tells you that I shall rise again. It's all about that. Luke chapter 2, verse 34. No doubt about it. Again, I love you forever, bless you forever. I remind you once again, my associates are children of the light. That just brings laughter to my heart, to my soul, to realize that at last I have those of you that love peace. And I only want to be in the presence of those of you that love peace. I love you forever. Shalom Aleichem.
Welcome to international headquarters for the nation of Yahweh, nation of Israel, tribe of Judah. Last night we were introduced to Yahweh, the sovereign one, and at the same time you were introduced to Yahweh's only begotten sovereign son. and you were introduced to yourselves. All week we have been introduced to ourselves. Our particular relationship with our particular God is most important. And once again, it's so beautiful to see something in Deuteronomy chapter 16, verse 10, where we're asked to do something that no other God asked his followers to do. Keep the Feast of Weeks. Who would ever dream that the law of the Feast of Weeks is so potent? And I've only touched, just a little bitty touch. It's almost like a hint at the law of Feast of Weeks. It's so powerful that just one of my sentences in regard to this is infinite study. And when applied, listen carefully, and when applied, is infinite wealth and infinite rulership, infinite peace with infinite power, infinite glory, infinite honor, infinite fame, infinite life. All of this is encompassed in the law of the Feast of Weeks. And I'm producing books from this feast. Yes, books. And the wise want these books. Will not be satisfied without these books. Now the foolish virgins among us will not put any oil in their lamps. Your lamp is your mind, you know. That's what helps you to see your way out of poverty. You can't see your way out of poverty until you come to understand that's where you reside. Now, some of you know what I'm talking about, and others of you are looking at me kind of like, In verse 10, we can see that we must have the tribute of a free will offering of your hand, which you must give unto Yahweh your God. Now you have to know who your God is to give it to him. But you don't have a choice now. If you want the blessing from the law of the Feast of Weeks, you have to do this. What is that saying? That's saying that Yahweh is requiring you to be blessed. Isn't that? I mean, see, some of you need to hear me again. I've been saying this all week. Maybe you've just gotten used to it. I don't know, but I'm trying to get something to sink in on you, that the law of Feast of Weeks requires you to be rich. I mean, you can't belong to Yahweh and be poor. That goes with the territory. Now, some of us have found out this includes more than money. Praise God. Some of us have been deluded into thinking that wealth is money. What I want you to understand is wealth does not exclude money. Did that pass by anybody, or did that hold up and put on brakes and stop inside your head? Or did that just shoot right on through your head? See, I said, wealth is more than money. But don't you ever forget, wealth includes money. When you have the true wealth, you'll have true money too. One comes first if you want to keep it forever. Now you can inherit money, and without true wealth, dissipate, be gone. But true wealth is so powerful that you can have no money and then end up with all of it. So you have to use your hands here and sow some seeds of Yahweh. Not wild oats, but seeds of Yahweh. Wild oats don't need your help. They do their own thing naturally. I took care of wild oats. But this harvest requires some work from you. And I think I got over to you this week what the kingdom of heaven is like. Unto a man, sow some seed. Kingdom of heaven. What's so fascinating about this Feast of Weeks is heaven is no longer a fantasy. Heaven is no longer elusive. Heaven is no longer unknowable. Heaven is no longer an unreachable mystery. I have unfolded to you the parable. The kingdom of heaven is like unto a man that sowed Yahweh's seeds. Now the Feast of Weeks is celebrated in the 3rd month. 7 weeks after Passover. And then that's significant, and we learn that this is not left up to chance. It's mathematically correct and required, happens the same way every time, forever. Here is a perfect prescription here. When you study the number 7, you'll begin to understand some of the mysteries of perfection. And here, 7 sevens. Now that's showing up, 7 sevens. 7 times 7. That is showing up some perfection. That's 49. 4 is a number that says foundation. Setting up the foundation, and 9 is completion. That's why you carry a baby 9 months. Sign of completion.
Praise Yahweh. I certainly like to thank the Most Honorable Yahweh Ben Yahweh for this special message. As you can see, 7, the Feast of 7, the Feast of Weeks, is a very deep law that we all need to become versed in so that we can move ourselves from poverty to riches. Well, family, I thank Yahweh for all who attended the feast tonight. And that concludes this night of Feast of Weeks. Rest assured, we'll be back with night 2 tomorrow night, same time, same place. I do want to invite you to come back to the Unfolding Light Zoom and on YouTube. Tomorrow night, we have a special presenter, a very special presenter to me. You heard her tonight as she did the greatest of intros that I'm not sure I deserve. But nevertheless, I thank Yahweh for her and for her intro. And tomorrow night, I'll have the pleasure in introducing her as our, we say guest speaker, but we're really not guests. We live here. You know, we live in the will of Yahweh. And so you're going to always see us speaking and assimilating wisdom that we've learned from the most honorable Yahweh ben Yahweh. So tomorrow night, we have Sister Tamar as our speaker. So please join us. I'm sure she will truly entertain us or edutain us with the enlightenment of the wisdom that Yahweh has provided for her. Also, I do want to I want you to remember to pay Yahweh and yourself first and don't touch it, as instructed by the most honorable Yahweh ben Yahweh. You can send your tithes, donations, and offerings to the Nation of Yahweh at P.O. Box 555115, Orlando, Florida 32855, or visit us online at thenationofyahweh.com. That's thenationofyhwh.com. And be blessed continually, according to Malachi chapter 3, verse 10. And now I invite you all to stand and face the east as we close out this night of the Feast of Weeks with a prayer to our Heavenly Father, Yahweh. Tefillah. Avenu Shabbat Shemayim, Yikadeh Shemeaka, Tavo Malkuterka, Yadze Rezonka, King Bashemayim Kain Ba'aretz, Elekum Kukenu, Tain Lanu Hayom, Uslat Lanu, All Kartienu, Kimo Shasol King, Gabanatnu, Lakotien Lanu, Veal Tevienu, Lade Nisayam, King Kalsenu, Minhara, Kelaka, Hamamlaha, Veha Gibera, Veha Tefieret, Leolame, Olaming, Sila. We thank thee, O Yahweh, O living and eternal King, who has so mercifully restored our souls within us. So let everything that has breath praise Yahweh.
Know and rest your mind assured. Our eyes have seen his works before, and until my last days, 'tis Yahweh I will praise. Yahweh, seeking you with all my heart. You've known your name right from the start. Lion of Judah, your forever reign. All 12 tribes will call your name, Yahweh. Know and rest your mind assured. Our eyes have seen his works before, until my last day. 'Tis Yahweh I will praise. Yahweh, seeking you with all my heart. We called your name right from the start. Lion of Judah, your forever reign. All 12 tribes will call your name, Yahweh.